Hi, I'm Marie Elizabeth Molly, and this is Relationship Alchemy. Today we're talking about seeing clearly in your relationships. There's an image I often use with my clients of wearing different glasses to see our relationships differently. So those of us who wear prescription lenses know that our lenses are designed to see at a certain distance, and especially when you get over 40 or 50, as I am, that prescription no longer works the same, and then you need reading glasses to see close, and then the distance glasses to see far, or you have progressives like I do, so you can do both with the same pair of frames. All that to say, the way we see our relationships is similar to this. For example, if we expect to be betrayed, we're going to look at our relationships through the lens of, am I being betrayed? Is betrayal happening? Is betrayal going to happen soon? What's happening? Well, it feels good now, but I know betrayal is coming. We're looking through the lens of betrayal, and pretty soon we'll find something because it's the lens we constantly look through. Same thing, let's say, I'm going to grab another pair of glasses here. Let's say the lens that we tend to look through is a lens of abandonment. So at any given moment, the relationship is being assessed all the time. Am I being abandoned? Am I about to be abandoned? Was that abandonment back there that just happened? Did they just abandon me? What's happening? When is abandonment going to happen? Hasn't happened yet, but I know it's coming. In this way, the lens through which we see the relationship tends to determine what happens. So my invitation to you, if you're aware of a certain lens that tends to be a default for you, which we all have based on our upbringing and what got encoded into our nervous systems when we were very small, likely before we could talk, it behooves us to get clear on what those lenses typically are, so that when we start looking at our relationships and picking them apart according to that lens, we can take it off and put on a different lens. This is growth. So growth in relationship happens when we get clear on the lenses we typically see the relationship through, and all our relationships, life, as it were, and grow ourselves in such a way that we are able to look with a new lens, an expanded lens, a different lens. I don't know if you have this problem, anybody out there who wears glasses, but my distance glasses typically don't work to see the computer. So when I'm working at the computer, I have yet another pair of glasses, a third pair of glasses that are also blue blockers that allow me to see the computer screen clearly. I don't wear them all the time because those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can see that they're kind of reflective, so you can't see my eyes as clearly. So I tend to wear other lenses, but if I really, really need to see what's happening on the screen sharply, this is the lens I wear. These are the frames I wear. So in our relationships, it's similar. We will only see at the distance, we will see sharply the distance that that pair of frames was made to see. These are reading glasses. When I get up and I go to the kitchen to get a glass of water, these glasses don't serve me at all because they're good for reading. I can't see where I'm going. I have to take them off to walk across the room. In our relationships, it's similar. Let's say this lens is the lens of the good. So when I have this pair of lenses on, I'm able to see what's working well in the relationship. I'm able to appreciate it. I'm able to be grateful for what's working. Lord knows, I hope you have that lens available to you too. Many of us default to the lenses of challenge, of abandonment, betrayal, shame, fear, constriction, tightness, lack of vulnerability, etc. Many of us default to those lenses as we move through our relationships. However, there is a pair of lenses that you could put on that is the lens of appreciating what's working, the lens of being able to notice the good. So I invite you to see clearly in your relationships to consider, what lens am I typically looking through? And is there maybe a lens or a frame, glasses frame, say, if we're sticking with the metaphor, is there a glasses frame that will allow me to see at a different distance than I typically see? Will it allow something different to come into focus? So these reading glasses that allow me to see the computer screen sharply, but don't work for walking around, they allow me to see the computer screen well. But my regular glasses that I wear for walking around are blurry when I look at the computer screen. They are for a different purpose. So I invite you to get super clear about what your typical lens is through which you view your relationships. And then I invite you to ask yourself if, because you typically view your relationships through that lens, could it be possible that you're actually creating that experience because it's the experience you're looking for? It's the experience that the pair of lenses or glasses that you're typically wearing is made for. So that's what you see. And maybe there are other aspects of your relationship that you can't see clearly because this lens doesn't allow for that distance, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Just because when I have the readers on and I can't see to walk across the room and get a glass of water, doesn't mean that the kitchen's not there. Doesn't mean that the water's not over there available to me. It just means that I can't see it. So too with the good. So too with what's working. So too with an alternate interpretation to a conversation you had with somebody that you interpreted in your habitual way. Why? Because you had that pair of glasses on, because that's the lenses you look through all the time. And more becomes available to us in relationship as we grow our capacity to have more than one lens through which to see a situation. This recently came up with a client who was seeing a situation with somebody, interpreting it in one way. And I said, okay, that's one way to interpret it. What's another way? She was able to locate another way that was actually more life affirming, it had more possibility of growth in it. She was interpreting it in this doom and gloom way. And this other interpretation allowed for growth, allowed for possibility, allowed for feeling what's here now, and also that there could be an opening that could happen, that could change. Why? Because she was willing to put on a different pair of lenses through which to see the situation. So that's my invitation to you. Get clear on what lenses you typically wear, which for me are my progressives that allow me to see distance and read down here at the same, without having to change frames. Get clear on the lenses you typically wear. Open your mind to the possibility that there might be more than one way to view the situation. Try on a new pair of glasses. Try on a new lens that has a different focal length. Maybe you'll see something different about the relationship. In fact, I'll guarantee that you'll see something different about the relationship if you're willing to change lenses. The key is willingness. Most of us get so wedded to our singular point of view, the particular pair of frames through which we look at the world, through which we look at our relationships and life. Most of us get so wedded to those frames that we forget that there are many ways and many possible interpretations of every situation based on the lens through which you see it. Today has been seeing clearly in your relationships, and I invite you until next time to remember that a great relationship starts with you.